Biden administration has, as we all know, weaponized the Department of Justice. They're at it again. Just yesterday, federal jury convicted a group of Christian pro-life activists, including an 89-year-old woman. They have been found guilty of FACE Act violations and conspiracy of rights. So look, these people are now facing more than 10 years in prison and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines upon their sentencing. That's the story I want to start with here in just a moment before we get to our other guests. The other part of this equation, which we're going to get to here in just a moment, earlier this summer, the DOJ indicted Dr. Eitan Haim. He's a surgeon at Texas Children's Hospital. He revealed that the hospital was secretly continuing to perform transgender medical interventions after it had publicly said that it would not do that any longer. And the FBI, they attempted to intimidate Vanessa Sivage, who is a nurse there at that same hospital and happens to be a former intern here at FRC, but she was the whistleblower that came out against the Texas Children's Hospital. And last week, she was fired by the hospital because she came out. We're going to be joined by that attorney here in just a moment, Marcella Burke. Before we get there, though, I want to bring on Meg Kilgannon. Meg is, as you well know, the Senior Fellow for Education Studies here at FRC. Meg, let's talk about these Christians who have been arrested, found guilty, including an 89-year-old woman for peacefully, as I understand it, peacefully protesting in front of an abortion clinic. What can you tell us about this?
This case, Jody, is one of many from this Department of Justice, as you said, that continues to prosecute people for expressing their First Amendment rights to free speech, for objecting to abortions, objecting to the taking of innocent life, unborn life. And so these folks in Michigan, where this particular case is taking place, are facing serious jail time and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines, as you said, as a result simply of protesting and seeking to protect the rights of the unborn to be born.
So two things. What is the FACE Act? What have they been doing? And what, as far as what did they violate? What law did they violate? And what were they actually doing in front of this clinic?
The FACE Act is about being able to access the abortion facility to have an abortion. So the pro-abortion folks do not like the fact that there are pro-life people outside the clinics praying. Sometimes the sidewalk counselors will seek to help minister to these women, to help them, to give them free pregnancy tests, to give them free ultrasounds, to provide health care for them at no cost, so that they have an alternative to abortion. Because there are many women who are interested in an alternative to an abortion, but they will not get information about that from an abortion clinic when they go into it. So there are many wonderful people doing sidewalk counseling and trying to save lives and help women in that regard. And so you hear people like Senator Elizabeth Warren and Vice President Harris who have extreme contempt for this kind of activity, because they want women to be able to go into the abortion facility unquestioned, unmolested, so that they can, have the procedure done. So these folks were doing that kind of work, and that is simply not going to be allowed in the Biden administration. They will prosecute people for doing this kind of thing.
And by the way, I may add that the FACE Act is also intended to protect pregnancy resource centers, but it's
never enforced that way, right?
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah, go ahead.
No, we hear all kinds of stories about pregnancy resource centers that are defaced, threatened, attacked in some ways, and for some reason the people who perpetrate those crimes are not brought to justice, and certainly not under the FACE Act by the federal government. But this Department of Justice has plenty of time to go after 89-year-old communist concentration camp survivors who are pro-life, while they will not protect other people.
It's just stunning how the FACE Act is intended for both, but those who destroy, deface, threaten, whatever pregnancy resource centers, we can't find them. And there's been hundreds of those, by the way.
Yes.
But people who are praying outside of an abortion clinic, somehow that is a violation. And the sentencing here is unbelievable. Meg Kilgannon, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and bringing this situation to light for us.